Yeomans.
Hi, my name is Melissa Yeomans and I live on Kirk Drive here. I'm a parent of 2 Forest Hills public school students at the time. So I'm just returning, and wow, we've had some colorful and passionate messages tonight. I don't know if you remember that I came and spoke a little bit at a previous meeting, and reluctantly I haven't had the letter that I'm preparing for you all written and sent yet. It's a pretty lengthy letter with a lot of topics and involving just the Mahmood versus Taylor, the potentials of opt-outs, the experience with book clubs and different situations with Forest Hills Public Schools. So I don't have too much of a big message tonight other than that I really am committed to sending that communication. I appreciate the work that you all do and your consideration of parents and all of the values that exist within this district. And I look forward to seeing how we can work together and how we can protect all of the students and continue to just move in a positive direction with communication, I guess. So, yeah, please be expecting that coming up in the future.
Thank you, Mrs. Yeomans. And Adriana Rubin.
Good evening, Adriana Rubin at Greenbrier Drive. Just a really brief message as well. I heard back from Mrs. Felsen about my questions from a couple meetings ago, maybe the last one, about the vote being changed. I know we talked about this before. I mentioned it's been discussed for people in the audience about moving the public comments to the end of votes. Just want to bring it up again. The response I got, sorry I didn't respond to you yet. I'm still concerned about it. I appreciate your viewpoint stating that the purpose of this meeting tonight is for the Board of Education meetings is to get business done. And I understand that and I agree with that, but I would counter that it actually is to hear from the constituents, because if you've got the comment period at the end, then obviously you want to hear from us, I guess. Moving it to the beginning only changes the time frame. It doesn't change your job, it doesn't change what you get done, it just changes the order of events. So I still think that moving it to the beginning would be best, because if you really want to hear from us, the best way to hear is all of us to be able to speak to a volume of people instead of, as you recommended, which again, I respect your opinion, sending an email to one person, or going to a curriculum meeting or a committee meeting, as you suggested, which is often always during the day, which is very difficult. We all know society the way it is right now. Most parents are working, often both. It's very difficult. I assume that you all get time off of your jobs to be able to come here, or you're self-employed and you can let yourself off, but a lot of us are in that position. I am, it's still tough for me. The second thing I wanted to ask about, and I know we can't answer me right now, is cell phone policy. So I am concerned, I heard about the vote, but I've heard a few whispers and some shouting about some very disconcerting things going on with cell phones. On the one hand, I think it's important to have the safety arm to be able to call your parents or somebody else if you need to immediately. I assume you all have, there's some safety measures in place for students not having access to their phones and still being able to reach out, do what they need to do if there is an emergency. But I've gotten wind of, not just locally, other schools, but locally, some really disconcerting things going on with cell phone usage, even in classrooms, even to the extent of porn being watched on cell phones in classrooms, visible to other students. Sure, they can go on their cell phone at home, but I don't think students should be exposed to that in the classroom, nor the cafeteria, nor anywhere. Inappropriate, destructive, highly destructive. I'm sure you all are aware of the studies of what porn does to students, to anyone's mind. The entrapment that's involved, the regret later. How about these serial killers who say later, I wish my parents had stopped me, I wish someone had stopped me, this is where it led me, I'm now on death row. So I hope you'll consider that in the future and try to figure out what's the balance here and what do we do, and I'd love to know what the policy is, so someone could reach out to me about that. I think everyone would like to know, what is the policy if there is a student caught doing something like that, or something else heinous, descriptive killings, school shooting instructions, what is the policy? How do we handle that? How do we, and not just discipline, but how do we raise these kids to make better choices?
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Paul Doyle.
Good evening. Hopefully my questions are going to be far more simple than some of those that have preceded me. I've been a bus driver here in Forest Hills for a little over 4 years. I drove not because I needed the work, but because I wanted to make a difference. Last I knew, we had 31 drivers where 42 drivers are needed this year, 41 routes plus 1 full-time standby. I'm anxious to hear what the district's plan is for dealing with this driver shortage. And Superintendent Kirby, as you said, it takes 5, 6, sometimes longer weeks to get a brand new driver fully trained and prepared to drive and drive safely. And so we're looking at October, maybe November, where these new uncredentialed candidates might be able to help address the shortage. So I'm concerned that the families in the district are not completely informed as to what the status is and how it may impact them, to allow them to make changes or accommodations. 4 years ago when I started, I had meetings with my families, and the messages I heard about what happens when they can't get their kids to school through bus driving is pretty significant. So my request is to know what the district's plan is, and should there not be the solution that is being inferred, what the district's going to do to create a solution. And when that time comes, I will be happy to contribute what I've observed, learned, and believe after more than 4 years of driving for the district. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, at this time, public comments are closed. The board thanks you for your input, and the appropriate district representative will get back with anyone who requested it. Is there any other business before the board this evening? Hearing none, meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.